Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to your Channel 12 News, where we show nothing but your worst nightmare. But tonight, on our Wednesday special, we have James from Africa, a refugee, to tell us more about his story and life. About an hour ago, I had the great privilege to meet James and his wonderful family. James is from Africa and has a story the world should know about. But he tells us more about his childhood right in these clips.
My name is James Conte. I am originally from Sierra Leone, West Africa. I've been in the States for 11 years, and I actually came to the state through my stepfather, who's a refugee from Liberia, and we moved here 2005 of June, so 11 years ago, as I said. So when I was growing up, my biological father was actually part of the military down in Sierra Leone, and so he was recruited when I was like 2 or 3 to go into the war to help in the war, and somehow he died in the war. So I didn't really knew him or got to know of him that much. So my stepfather and my mom ran into each other in Sierra Leone. Like my childhood mainly was the first 10 years of my life was basically living in a war. So you didn't really have time to like think to go out and play with your friends. So you didn't really have as much opportunity as people do here. So even when the war started, I think it was on my one. I remember the latest actually was just after my 8th birthday, because my birthday was on Sunday that year, on January 5th, and then Monday was the first day of school to start again. And my sister and I got ready. We are excited to go to school, so we started heading towards the highway. So we got to the main street, and then we started hearing like rapid shots, like just AK-47, and people just shooting like crazy. We're like, what's going on? Like first it was just a one gunshot, and then two, like, oh, it's just a country raising its flag because it's kind of like the new year. So just like a reminder, like, hey, the country's still here, kind of thing. So my sister and I were like, oh, let's keep going. So we kept walking, and the closer we got, we started seeing people running like left and right, just like in chaos, and like, okay. So my sister grabs my hand and is like, we should probably head home. So we started walking towards home, and just saw people start running. So we also started running on a dirt road, and then my mom and stepfather started running also towards us. So they grabbed us. They're like, hey, let's go back home. The moment we got to our place, that there were Ghanaian soldiers just above us, and they were like, you guys should stay indoors. There's a war starting, so you should probably just go inside and close your door. The moment we did, there was a rebel that actually came and passed just in front of our house, about 1,000 yards away from our house. Just like run, it stopped and then looked at our door, but we're just looking through the little people, and then he ran up and left. And then a few minutes after that, we actually came out, because there was a guy who was down the hill from us, an old man, and he started running, and I was just 8 years old, and I thought it was something that was actually hilarious. So I started laughing about it, and my stepdad and mom were like, "What the heck is wrong with you? Like, why are you laughing? And I was like, "Well, it's funny. He's running. He runs funny. And they're like, "He's running for his life." And I was like, "Oh, okay. So he ran, he came up to us, and we all went in the house and closed the door, and there's this jet, a chopper that's coming like right above our house, just throwing bombs just east of us, the mountain just across from us. There were like these rebels just coming down the hill. So this jet was just going up, and just like bombs them, and we're like right there just watching the whole thing. The floor was all shaking. People like being brutally killed, like being left on the streets, like dogs and vultures just like all over the city, just eating people's body on the roads, and it was pretty gross. And
Thank you, James. Explain to us why you came to America. What did you expect?
Actually, coming to America wasn't a choice. So I didn't really say, hey, I want to come to America, or hey, take me to America. So we actually, as I was saying about the interview, we went through those interviews. The last person who actually interviewed us was from the States. So I think a week later was when we find out they're like, hey, you guys are going to the United States. You're like, okay, we didn't know anyone here, so we didn't even know why we wanted to come here. So there was no reason of us actually to come here. So what else?
What did you expect?
Well, honestly, like from what we knew, like America was a place of dreams, was what people called it. That it's a place where you could actually come and achieve your dreams. So I didn't really have any expectation for it because I didn't know that much about it. So I just came here because we had the opportunity to come. So I came, and I've been going through school and life itself. Yeah.
Has it been hard as an African American living here in Rexburg, Idaho, and in America?
Being an African American here, I think, is a little bit different than being one in Chicago itself. Because a reason for that is you don't find too many African Americans here, unless if you go to Boise. Like Boise, there's more because I've been to Boise, so there's more African Americans there. There's more mixture there than there is here. And here, there are times that you'll go to stores and people will actually just be like, what the heck, or ask you questions, or just like not too sure of how to react with you or around you or what to say. And like, to me, it doesn't phase me much because it's not a big deal to me anymore. Like, for people that it is a big deal, then it's a big deal. Yeah. So, and I respect that people have pride for their country. I respect that people feel like other people who are coming here are causing trouble, but they are not. They are here without actually a choice. When refugees go through a program, they don't tell you where you're going. They don't tell you what program you're signing up for. They don't. You don't get to choose like, oh, I want to go to America, or oh, I want to go to Europe. They they don't choose. They send you where they send you. They send you according to the person who interviewed you, or the last person who interviewed you, or where they feel like you can fit best. That's about it.
James, explain to us a little about your language and learning English as one of the hardest languages ever made.
I think English is actually one of the hardest language to learn. Throughout, even in Sierra Leone, it's something that you have to learn and actually have to speak in class. I remember when we went to our first time we went to a store was Joel Asco's store, and my sister was just very, very, very nervous of actually asking people like, hey, could you get me this, or could you, like, how do you say this? I've just been this butterfly that just floats around and just like, hey, so no matter how worse my English sound, it didn't matter to me. So I put myself out there, and no matter how bad I sounded, it wasn't like a huge deal. But to my sister, it was a big deal. So she will ask me to go ask for her to see if they could get her something, or if there's something that could be done, or so on and so forth. But that's mainly it. But English, I think it's one of the hardest languages to learn.
Tell us a little more about how you feel about stereotypes of African Americans.
Just like stereotype is something that's common here than it is in Africa itself. So just to go a little deeper before I actually get to the point is, um, I didn't know about slavery. I wasn't told about black and white, what it was when I was growing up. We had black people, we had Chinese people in Africa. we didn't care who is what or who is at what level. We treated each other at the same level. But coming here, I remember even in high school when people used to call me Kunta Kinte or Rafiki or, those kind of names from African movies, And to me, it was like, okay, I never really understood that until I saw the movies of what they were. So when people will refer to me actually in school and say, you are African American, I said, I'm not. I'm African, because I wasn't a citizen. So I said I'm not, because of the stereotype that they lived towards, that African Americans some of them are lazy. They don't do anything. They just want it to be given to them. Some of them don't go out and accomplish their goals because of what has happened in the past. So the best thing is African Americans are great, but they tend to be great in sports because that's where they feel they can be successful. That's where they feel they can accomplish their dreams and their goals and their future. And if they don't get there, they feel like they have failed.
And last of all, James, how has religion played a role in your life?
Religion has always been a huge part of my life, especially for my mother. My mom is a very, very religious person. She strives to always take us to church, always. So it has always played a huge part of my life. It has been something that I depend on. Always, if I don't go to church, I actually feel like I don't have anything to do. Like on Sunday, I feel like I haven't accomplished anything if I don't go to church. And if I'm not doing something to serve another person, I feel like my day is not accomplished. So my goal I live by every day is leave someone better than you found them. If they are sad or whatever is going on, say hello to someone, hug a person. And that's just a service goal that I always strive to live to, is serve someone, at least one person per day.
What in your history, James, has made you the man who you are today?
Everything that either happened during the war or everything that I've been through being here, prepared me for who I'm hoping to become one day. Life has been hard, and to me, life has been hard work. If everything is given to you freely and easily, what's the point? What's the purpose? How are you going to be able to get it for yourself one day? Christ himself said it's better to teach a man to fish than to fish for a man always. If you want to learn something, learn it. Example of that, school is not my favorite thing, but I've stuck through it. Now here I am towards the ending of my undergraduate at the college level, at the university. It has not been easy. I've failed classes and I've retaken them. No matter how many times I failed them, for some reason I retake them again because I know that there's a reason.
James, we thank you so much for being with us tonight. We have been moved by your story. I personally have been touched by your life and will strive to be better each and every day. To close tonight's special event, we will hear from our beloved prophet, Thomas S. Monson.
The purpose of mortality is to learn to grow, to be more like our Father. And it's often during the difficult times that we learn the most, as painful as the lessons may be. Our lives can also be filled with joy as we follow the teachings of the gospel of Jesus Christ.